Hello, East Cleveland. This is Mayor Brandon L. King. There has been some confusion surrounding the Ward 3 council seat and who is legitimately appointed as counselor for Ward 3. As you know, the executive branch of our government enforces the law. And as the chief executive of the executive branch, it is my responsibility to ensure that all federal, state, and municipal laws are followed, as well as the charter of the city of East Cleveland. The charter is clear regarding the procedure to fill a vacancy that is created on city council. Section 56 of the East Cleveland Charter states, when a majority of electors vote, and they vote to remove a counselor, and this vote is certified by the Board of Election, the vacancy shall be filled by a majority vote of the remaining counselors. If City Council fails to fill this vacancy within 30 days, the President of City Council shall fill the vacancy by appointment. The actions taken by City Council to fill the vacancy were not consistent with public meeting requirements of the City Charter, of the Ohio Sunshine Law, and of the federal open meeting laws and freedom of speech. The recall election of Ernest Smith was on November 8th of 2022. The County Board of Elections certified the election results on November 29th of the same year. As a result of this certification, City Council now had until December 29th of 2022 to fill the vacant seat of Ward 3. On December 20th, Councilors Stevenson, Bahoviak, and Gowdy attempted to have an executive session, from which they emerged announcing that Latik Shabazz was thereby appointed as Smith's vacancy replacement. This was done in a forum not open to the general public, making it illegal. On December 27th, the councilors attempted to hold another special meeting with the intent to swear in Shabazz without a public notice of the meeting being properly posted as required by our city charter. The only posting of this so-called special meeting was on the Democrats of East Cleveland Facebook page, which does not constitute a posting in a conspicuous place, again, as required by our city charter, thus rendering this meeting illegal. On December 29th, after City Council exhausted the 30-day period as required by the city charter and not filling the Ward 3 vacancy, Council President Nathaniel Martin exercised his right and appointed Ms. Jacqueline Goodrum to fill the Ward 3 vacancy. It was later discovered that Ms. Goodrum did not qualify to be appointed because she is a public employee, and this violates the city charter. On December 30th, Council President Martin legally appointed and then swore in Mark McLean, officially filling the Ward 3 council vacancy. Now, Councilman McLean meets all charter requirements, and he is who the executive branch recognizes as a legitimate councilman of Ward 3. On January 3rd, Councilors Stevenson, Bahoviak, and Gowdy, at a regularly scheduled city council meeting, reorganized city council leadership, making Corinne Stevenson city council president. And afterwards, these councilors again attempted to swear in Shabazz for a third time, even after council exhausted the 30-day period as granted them by the city charter and even after the former council president, Martin, legally appointed Mark McLean to fill the Ward 3 vacancy, which happened on December 30th. Unfortunately, none of these meetings held by the councilors Stevenson, Bahoviak, and Gowdy to fill the Ward 3 vacancy had any meeting minutes in which we could refer to, which also violates the city charter, the Ohio Sunshine Law, and the federal open meeting laws and freedom of speech requirements. Today, there are lawsuits filed with the Court of Common Pleas and the Court of Appeals to determine who was properly appointed to fill the Ward 3 vacancy. Until these courts rule, the executive branch, of which I lead, will continue to recognize Mr. Mark McLean as the councilman of Ward 3. As these cases make their way through the court system, I will continue to provide you with the most current and factual updates. That is my duty and promise to you as we continue to rebuild East Cleveland together. Thank you, and God bless you, and God bless East Cleveland.